For your relationship and marriage advice, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel called Sakamakaya with Mr. and Mrs. Mbata.
Good evening, family. Welcome to yet another episode of Sakamakaya Limmelin Mbata. You know, today I'm the one who's doing the introduction. Ngiyacabanga kuzanya ukulungisa indaba yokuthi mangingena angibingelele, you know. So today it's me who is greeting, who's welcoming everybody. Manisithembe ukuthi wonke umuntu ukahle ekhaya lakhona and wonke umuntu ube na beautiful long weekend ebe heritage.
Yes.
So you know we didn't follow a heritage like syndrome. That's why namhlanje sithi asigqobhizozo sile the heritage.
You know mama usithungelayo uyosibambeza nosiwasidileya ngoba mina ngina tradition, so ngiyaqala ukuthungisa tradition. So sixolise kakhulu ngokudelay ukugqoka tradition, but at least it's the final day.
Yes, we are sealing the heritage, you know. Mangisho kanjalo, we are proud in South Africa.
Yeah,
you can
true.
say that. Hey, namhlanje family, we are discussing a very interesting topic, a concerning topic, a hard to talk about topic, even to our couples. We are saying, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about all the bad things eziyenza ukuthi umuntu angakhoni uku-engage sexually nepartner yakhe, and ethi angakhoni uku-engage sexually nepartner yakhe, angakhoni nanoku-communicate or ukumtshela ukuthi what are the problems, what issues do I have, or kwawena as an individual awuzinikeza ithuba ukuthi wena uzibheke ngokwakho ukuthi kungaba yini engakuthiwa ikhona kimi that can be a turn off my partner, you understand? So that's why we are here, because people have a different struggle. There's hygiene problem. There's romance problem.
Romance, when you're saying romance problem,
yes,
romance
is vast, baby. Number one, e.c.t, besides foreplay, you know, there are things as a woman, or there are things you as a man, or fila uguti, they ignite you somehow. They put you in a certain lovey-dovey mood with your partner. You know, whether ngithanda amaplomo or ngithanda uguti surprising ama gift or lingerie, or wena ushaye perfume emnandi ngikuncome khona izinto ezithi mangizipressa zikutofotofose zingenze ngifeel romantically ignited. It doesn't necessarily mean romance ukuthi ungise ku-date kuphela sihlale phansi candlelight, also a form part of it, but sesikhuluma ke sesingakhulumi ngescope sokuthi dinner out or celebration of some sort, but being romantic with each other. Asithi bheka, for instance, we were under COVID. Romance couldn't be done in my restaurant. It had to happen indoors. You know, romantically we had to be indoors. So there are ways, there are things, there are conversations, there are actions, there are things, you know, that we need to be doing to feel, to spark up the romance in between us, to gear up into this mojo guti. At the end of the day, so we are prepared. You understand?
So what you are basically saying, if I hear you right, good evening, family. Mina ngubaba Mbata, unkosikazi wami lo, omuhle, omanzi, kewaka, member, Kalidumelisi. What you are saying, ukuthi it turn on, okanye being aroused, ne? Aqali physically.
So no.
Okay. Meaning it does not mean I have to touch you to arouse you, or foreplay. That's part of it.
That's part of it.
There is also a way of arousing umuntu wesifazane without touching her.
Even wesley
actions, basically.
Yes,
there are certain actions that build
up towards, you know, ukuvusa.
Okay.
But singakat be in detail. Okay. There's also now tension and ukukosa to kill the sexual spark. Okay. You know. So in thing funa siyenze babombatha. you know, and other things, you know. Angifuni ngoba we tend to, when we speak about sex, we tend to focus the into a killer, the spark, the sexual spark, it's finance. And that's one of the things, it's not the only things. So we need to now unpack this. And when we are going to be unpacking this, kunomlaleli, kuno family member ohleli or ozoyimamela ona the struggle esisosithinta akakwazi ukuthi as-addresse kanjani nomuntu wakhe, and kunomuntu wakhe ahleli ithi makayizwa uyasazi struggle sakhe ngoba when we're going to be talking about this, we are not saying go and approach your partner like this, but we are putting a challenge to ifamily ukuthi as an individual, as Mrs. Mbatha, angeke ngithathe some time to introspect uMambatha ukuthi is she really on point with how Mr. Mbatha wants her to be? Nginuka kamnandi, sengikhuluma manje nge-hygiene, ngigeza clean, ngitshentsha i-underwear. Do I become enticing ukuthi masizofika kuleyo department like iyakhatla na? Before when uzongitshela ukuthi ish love lento kunephunganyana elinokungidisturba, because people tend to be sensitive mawuzokhuluma nabo about their hygiene, but makube mina I take it upon myself manje sengiz introspect on what pleases my man, and then manje ibona ama-box engizenzele ngiwathika right, I come to you, love, you know what, khona into ebengicabanga manje ukuthi yazini ake ungitshele, what do you think physically am I towards you, sexually, hygienically? Ngifuna ungincede, maybe khona izinto engaziboni ngoba ngifuna ukumake sure ukuthi you are completely happy with me when we are supposed to engage sexually. Sengikunikeza an opportunity ukuthi raise your concerns with me, acknowledging the fact that into ye-hygiene kuma-couples, it's very sensitive and difficult ukuthi kukhulunywe ngayo.
You know, baby, when you're talking like this, I remember we once had a show, a radio, sikhuluma nge-hygiene.
Yes.
And then there was a caller oyewa phone.
Yes.
Akhuluma ngokuthi indoda yakhe or boyfriend, indoda yakhe.
Yes.
Athi igqoke underwear one for
the whole week,
iviki lonke, and
yes,
he sees nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
But now, you know, when you talk of hygiene,
yes,
mina, this is my strong belief when
yes,
it comes to indaba hygiene.
Yes.
Ukuthi lento le ukhula nayo.
Yes.
Like abantwana bethu, they know ukuthi first thing before bezosibingelele ekseni or whatever, mele benzeni bageza amazinyo basulubuzo. You understand?
Yes.
But now base ngizohlangana nawe ngina 40.
Yes.
Uzongitshela ukuthi hamba ugeza amazinyo kuqala before uzokhuluma nabantu. I take offense. You understand? Ukuthi how when I mean impilo yami yonke lokhu ngiphila so, and then the next thing wena sozongitshela so sengiqala manje ngenzani ngilabula as umuntu oncontrolayo noma sixoxa yazi lo chebe yamjayi uze angitshele nokuthi ngiyogeza amazinyo ngathi ngumntanakhe. You understand? Kusho ukuthi ngamanye amagama mina ngiyamnukela. Uyangithola point nami, because now indaba ye-hygiene it strongly depends ekutheleni sikhuliswa kanjani, because ama-habits esikhuliswa ngawo yiwo esiwathathayo sizongena nawo emshadweni.
But remember, sithandwa sami, ukuthi it's a habit ukuthi ukhuliswa kanjani kini. But you need to remember one thing, awushadi nabantu bakini, awushadi with your relative, ushada na somebody from a different upbringing, different environment, you know. So if in any sense kini it wasn't a problem ukuthi nidle i-breakfast ungakagezi amazinyo, angisakhulumi ngokuzisula ukungagezi nje amazinyo, then romantically me as your partner, how then do you expect me to be able to, when we supposed to have that interaction, nephunga elindisturbayo, and that turns me off, and marmangizokutshela ngalo, whether I tell it to you in a respectful manner or in a polite manner, or it will still be offensive because it's what you were brought up with. So that's something that we have to acknowledge. Masingena in my relationship in awungena osisi wakho nobhuti wakho necousin yakho nomama wakho nobabakho, ungena na as somebody who comes from a different background on a certain way of doing things. For instance, you're making an example with our children. Imagine ulatita ayoshada indoda ekutheneni ukuthi bona kubo bavele bagqumela ukudla bangakagezi amazinyo, but endlini ufundisiwe ukuthi uqala ebathroom before uya anywhere else. You understand? So leyo concept yakalathitha nendoda yakhe or ne-boyfriend yakhe azifani zizongqubuzana, but somehow they need to blend.
That's my point.
Yes.
How then do you make them merge and understand that
Yes.
together? Because now a challenge enkulu.
Yes.
When it comes to, especially indaba ye-hygiene,
Yes.
when it comes to indaba ye-hygiene,
Yes.
thina siba namahloni.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
I mean, for example, ngibe namahloni ukuthi hayi mambacha kunephunga elingekho right.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But bese uthola ukuthi lephunga elingekho right seliyang-affecta physically. Mangithi physically meaning ukuthi i-performance yami sexually, it's no longer up to scratch, because when I'm engaging with you sexually and then I'm enjoying the punga at the same time, you understand?
Yes.
And then bese when we are kala, ubona ngathi
Yes.
ngiyachithela or whatever,
Yes.
why
Yes.
ngiba half cash, why this, why that.
Yes.
But now makumele ngitshele ukuthi eish
Uhlupha.
kunephunga, you
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
The minute usho kanjalo kimi uthi yazi baby kunephunga,
Yes.
mina ngithini yini ngiyanuka, you understand? And then masayisho kanjalo already kusho ukuthi I'm telling you ukuthi I've taken offense, you understand?
That, you know, love, as I was saying earlier on, ukuthi awukushadanga nomuntu wakini, ushade nomuntu different, ukuthi romantically, sexually and every other way kumele engage naye. It's not a very simple topic. That's why no matter how calm, how polite, how humble, however way you can try to talk about this issue, it's sensitive. Mina, I have this belief, Yoguti, if I pick up something, right, and I know we need to engage sexually, I will introduce in a play form. You know what? We get to set the mood right. You know, I guess shy bubble bath. I need hours. Shy bubble bath or come up with creative ways. As ukwenza ukuthi ukhone wena ukuthi lento ukwazi ukuyilungisa. Because gradually you mature in a relationship with your partner. There will come a point in a level ozokhona ukuthi isithando sami kune problem engibona ngathi ngimele siyilungise. And when you address that issue, awuyenzi entirely yakhe. U-interact-ana ukuthi asizame ukuyenza so ngoba nami inokunghlupha lento. Let's do it together. You understand? e.c.t, for instance, kunabo baba who have been circumcised. And angaka-circumcised kanjalo, he wants it to go down on him. And by the time you have to go down on him, there's semen ephumile. And the mother mozoqala uyakhona ukuyoyehlisa la ideng ukuthi for skin so kukhuphuka into enephungile lengekho right. So if ude uyazi love, I want to set the mood right.
Mosadi utshwara thipa ka bohaleng.
No.
Angithi. Umuntu esifazane utshwara thipa ka bohaleng. Izinto ekumele uzibekezelele.
I get it, that's why ke set the mood right for a bathroom pele. Ribe romantic. Sesithatha the part of what i-romance. Siyangena sigeza together, siyadlala ngaye emanzini. Kanti mangidlala ngaye emanzini, sengiyayigeza. Wena ukho aware. Ukuyisiprepare ukuthi masifika ngale ekamereni, ngizisotile out. You understand?
So,
I need to, I'm gonna be comfortable enough to tell you, Guti, love, there's a problem. Kuna banta bane problem, amagams are bleeder. You understand? And amagams more bleeder, automatically, it's gonna make your mouth stink. You understand? My anjalo, love, you know what? I am in a same funeral and cattle. This pressure must be to first sins in the mouth wash is so loud. You understand? So then, how your sexual engagement with your partner, it's your responsibility. And as it's your responsibility, it's about time as couples. We need to be matured about understanding, Guti, if I am your partner, I want to address an issue now. Do not take it to a level but I am doing it because of because at the end of the day, if I don't do that, I'm not going to go down on you.
You know, I want us to go to the next point.
Yes.
Of which is tension.
Yes.
So basically, when we wrap up the hygiene part,
yes,
it's how you tell umuntu the problem.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
You find a strategy, you find a mechanism
yes.
of presenting a solution
yes.
to the moon.
Yes.
You understand?
And
not
as well, sorry, love. As well, see acknowledge which now is introspect and make it easier for your partner ukuthi mawuzothi love, here's my checklist, is there anything that I need to fix?
Okay, so basically wena
Yes.
i-method oyisebenzise kimi of which ngiyaqala ke nokuzwa namhlanje babukeli, i-method esetshenziswe kimi bethiwa baby let's do this together, asambe siyogeza kanti kunephunga or whatever, I wouldn't know, you know, but that's your method. So you advise ukuthi let us find a common way into ezwenza ukuthi nami ngifeel comfortable when I'm doing it kanti sengiyalungisa. But now I want us to look at indaba ye-tension as well. You know, I was speaking to a friend of mine, izolo bekangivakashele umbonile, and he says to me there is nothing emnandi njenge-makeup sex. You understand? And then I'm like, if you're talking of makeup sex, are you able to be aroused while there is tension now? You understand? Because some people, they need to calm down. And ukuthi akwazi. You understand? Like me now, for example, you know tension include kanje. You know, I wouldn't engage sexually with tension. I'm calling, angeke kuthiwe ngilala nomuntu engamkhulumisi. And you'd find, you know, masibona ama couple ukuthi sina 3 months singakhulumisani, but they are able to engage physically balokhu bangakhulumisani. You understand? Ukuthi now then makune tension between the two of you. Mina utho ukuthi angithi masiyabantu asifana. And mina, I'm the makeup sex kind of a guy, and when you are a want to calm down kind of a lady. And then how do we meet each other halfway? Ukuthi mina mangizwe ukuthi, you know what, in order for me ukuthi ngikwazi ukuthi ngiyaxolisa, mele ngithi ngiyaxolisa ngiphezu kwakho. You understand? And when you bona ngathi ukuthi uyangijwayela, after everything, the next thing sekafuna ukuba phezu kwakho. How do we meet each other in terms of preferences?
You know, baby, lento makeup says it used to confuse me a lot, you know. But along the way, I tend to understand what does makeup sex mean. I stand to be corrected. I get a little to Sanara advisor. I don't think in the Bayogut is straight to Gula 5 minutes ago, and then the 6th minute later, so I think it's a case of Guti. Kumane communication estata apa izinto ezinikeza ama signs ukuthi so kuyabhodla. You understand? I think even a communication yana thize ebakhona eyokubonisa ukuthi okay mangitofoza sekuyatofozeka, and then mangiloku ngiqhubeka kuyayenzeka, and then mangibona ukuthi when I go further uyangireceiver, then it happens. Mar ibe ukuthi khona into eyiqalile for ukuthi ize end up ibe a sexual interaction. I don't think it's a thing ekuvela ukuthi so sandulana sikhulumisana base ngekamera mawufika ungena ekamera uvela uvala umnyango mina ngivela ngivala umnyango ube phezu kwakho ube phezu kwami.
But as I'm asking now, ukuthi I remember there was a couple esasinayo but bana 2 months bangakhulumisani and they're having sex. You understand? Ukuthi in terms of tension, how do you allow yourself ukuthi ube aroused? You understand? And then nakhona banaleli, if I will be aroused, for example, and then you are able to sit for 2 weeks ungakhulumisi umuntu wakho, and then ngamanye amagama imuphi umoya ofakayo in this relationship or kulo mshado. You understand? Because now uthola ukuthi kule 2 weeks mina as a person angikhona ngeke ngihlale 2 weeks without doing the deed. You understand? But if awungikhulumisi wena for 2 weeks and then you have a nerve yokungangikhulumisi for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, imuphi umoya instilla kimi. You understand? Because enye into kunezinye izinto kusho iBhayibheli lithi we must not deny each other. You understand? Because by doing so sivula umnyango ukuthi umoya omubi wenzeni ungene between us. And whether leyo nto leyo uyikholwa or uyistawa or whatever you wanna call yourself, it's true. You understand? Because ama tensions amaningi creator ama thoughts amabi, especially I wouldn't know ngabantu besifazana, especially abantwini besilisa. You understand? To go cheat. ukuthi nini makafika la endlini sekafika uyabheka nje you understand uthola ukuthi ukwata to an extent yokuthi ugcina ungasapheki nokupheka uyitshela ukuthi uzongilaya ngokuthi mangibuye emsebenzini ngithola amabhoda clean you know what angeke ngihlale ngidla iKFC you understand khona umuntu ozongofara a hot meal and a hot meal comes with a hot everything you understand and then uthola ukuthi that was not the intention but because of the tension leyo nto leyo igcine ilila laphi kuleyo nto leyo.
I think, you know, baby, to be honest, when it comes to tension, we need to be honest, brutally honest. Abantu besifazane, they are masters of faking orgasm. And tension, it's one of it. It's one of the reasons. Because it's not unless umuntu wakho vele awukho romantically connected naye. Vele uyithoyi yakho yokuzi-reliever when you need to reliever. You understand? So basically, we boyfriend or your machine in the mountain are romantically connected na agas. But if you are romantically connected na lo yomuntu, I can tell you now, in most instances, you will be faking the orgasm. Because even under normal circumstances, to some women, I underline some, I'm not saying all women, to some women it's difficult to reach the orgasm. So what more when there is tension? Sometimes what more when there is tension between me and the tension ekoso ukuthi yazi uyangikwatisa akamcabangeli aka this aka ngezinto eziphethe ezismall you understand or feel ukuthi they disconnect you to your partner then masekufanele ni engage sexually how are you going to come if unezinto ezikwatisile ezirritating ngaye at that particular point? That's when fakeness eningi iyenzeka ebantwini besifazane. It's one of the reasons. It's something that we need to be honest about. We cannot run away from that fact. Women out there, they do fake orgasms, Talo-san. They are not brave enough to say, and not only attention, including hygiene. We are no and the man looking busy with the breath, my looking disturb. So who pretend as if he so figure just for him to get the satisfaction and move away from this breath. So if breath it was who creates such disconnection, what more attention?
So basically, moving to the last point of which is romance. So basically, in our attention, it end up by essence fake.
Yes.
So nami imagine whatever. In order for me, you know why I'm saying this?
Yes.
I was listening to a certain radio station.
Yeah.
I was with you in the car, and this guy says.
Well, you are always with me everywhere.
Yes, so this guy says, girlfriend yakhe the way ineskhwele ngakhona. Makabuya accuser ngokuthi ubuyolana namantombazane. And in order for her to prove ukuthi akabuyolana namantombazane, mele alale naye. You understand?
And should he not come? That means,
should he not be aroused?
Yes.
That means ubuye ntombazane.
Yes.
And then imagine the tension. Ukuthi songena engubeni sengibhizi ngiyakhumula ngoba ngizoprove ukuthi already that tension, it's tense for me. You understand?
Does it happen better with men?
Yeah, it does. It does. And you know what? When it happens, first things first, melutholi imagination ezokunceda. I'm no longer with you then. Lento ikhulumayo. When you are faking, it means now you're no longer with me. Yeah. So nami the minute kunaleyo tension, mawungibona ngigibela phezulu, it's got nothing to do with you.
So
it's got everything to do with me. I need to relieve myself of something, or I need to repeat improve a point tease. And in order for me to prove a little point, mele ngenze ngifantasize. You understand? But now let's talk of a romance. I don't know if you still have time for romance.
Yeah, I think you know what, baby. This thing it's deep. I think the sexual engagement struggles. We need to make a part 2 of it because it's deep. And manje, there's so many pointers. e.c.t. we are rushing through them because of e.c.t. You understand? Because besides talking about those particular struggles, we also need to not to probe per se, but see kuma couples would get into the habit of being able to acknowledge that you might have a problem that your partner is experiencing as a struggle for yena, and we need to resolve that, even if we don't talk about it. But we need to start being brave enough to acknowledge ukuthi ibra engigqokayo inokubhora ubabumbatha. Let me make the first move. Love le bra injani yachaza or not. If uthi love yazi ungangikwateli mazodala vela ngisabukusho but iyangibhora.
Okay. So in conclusion, balaleli kale bakala nakho siyaxolisa kakhulu isikhathi sethu sifishane, but ke kale bakala nakho what I'm taking from you today ukuthi you must first introspect ukuthi lento oyiyo wena, would you be aroused by what you are? You understand? Wena, would you be aroused by intombazane egqoka ipaint eli-1 iviki lonke? If wena ufake i-underpant eyi-1 iviki lonke, you understand? Would you be aroused by umuntu othi abuya emsebenzini akhumula amaboots afuna ukugibela phezulu kwakho? Wena if umfazi wakho bekuuye osebenza ngamaboots bokuzoyenzakalani avela akhumula amaboots angene engubeni athi woza la I had a long day. I see. You understand? So I kale kuwe kunomhlabelelo wabazalwane uthi mayikale kuwe imvuselelo. So nakuwe mayikale kuwe imvuselelo before ufuna abantu ba accommodate what you are. When will you be able to accommodate lento wena ufuna abantu ba accommodate? So by so saying good night and uNkulunkulu anibusise. Sitholakala na ku YouTube Sakamakhaya with Mr. and Mrs. Mata. God bless you and good night.
And on that note as well, maybe as we're going to be doing a part 2 of this next week, I mean, family, you are more than welcome to even inbox privately or on the platform of your concerns, your struggles, things that you would like us to talk about. Because Nate, as a couple, we have once had our own personal sexual struggles, and we had to find a way to sit because I can say, you know, I might be struggling about this to me now, but the next person is struggle. So as we preparing for part 2 next week, let them engage, let them say Mina, this is my situation, so that we are able we had etc. Etc. has got a variety now so that we can tackle that. But nonetheless, family, we thank you so much for your time. Let's talk and see each other again next week Wednesday. Bye.
For your relationship and marriage advice, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel called Sakamakaya with Mr. and Mrs. Mbata.